just a boy, a shepherd who spent his days among sheep with nothing but a wooden staff and a small slingshot. His hands were rough, his clothes simple, and his name unknown outside his tiny village. No one believed he would change history. But Allah had written for him a destiny that would shake kings, armies, and empires. This boy was Dawood, peace be upon him. While others chased after wealth and fame, Dawood found peace under the open sky. His heart was filled with remembrance of Allah. He would watch the stars and whisper praises to his Creator, marveling at the order of the heavens. The wind in the hills became his companion, the quiet valleys his place of prayer. Every day he practiced with his sling. Smooth stones flew from his hands with precision unmatched, striking trees, posts, and distant marks. To the world, this was the idle hobby of a boy. To Allah, it was preparation for a moment that would echo through eternity. But while Dawood's life was peaceful, his people lived under despair. The children of Israel were crushed beneath the power of a ruthless enemy, Jalut, known to the world as Goliath. Jalut was a warrior king, towering in size, his armies vast and merciless. His men burned villages, enslaved families, humiliated their enemies. Even the sacred Ark of the Covenant, the taboot that carried holy relics from Musa's time, had been desecrated and lost. The people's hearts sank with grief. They cried out for deliverance. A prophet among them, some narrations call him Shamuel, prayed to Allah asking for guidance. Allah revealed that their leader should be a man named Talut, but the people doubted him. Talut was poor, a man of no noble wealth. Why should such a man lead them? Yet Allah had chosen him for his strength, his knowledge, and his justice. And so Talut gathered an army to face Jalut. But the soldiers were tested along the way. At a river crossing, Talut told them, "Allah will test you with this river. Whoever drinks from it is not of me. Whoever takes only a sip in his hand may stay with me." Most of the men drank freely and failed. Only a few stayed steadfast. In the end, Talut was left with barely 313 soldiers, facing an ocean of enemies. Among those few was an 18-year-old shepherd, Dawood. The battlefield was a valley scorched under the desert sun. Jalut's army stretched across the horizon, shields and spears glinting like waves of steel. And at the center stood Jalut himself, giant, armored from head to toe, his sword gleaming like fire. He roared across the plain, "Send me a man! Let him face me in single combat!" His voice shook the valley. The soldiers of Israel trembled. Who could face such a monster? No one stepped forward. Silence pressed down on their ranks. Fear chained their hearts. Then, from among them, a young man stepped forward. No armor on his body, no sword in his hand, only a slingshot. His stride was calm, his eyes steady. It was Dawood. The army gasped. Jalut threw back his head and laughed, his voice like thunder. "Is this your champion? A boy with a toy?" But Dawood's voice was clear and unwavering. "You come to me with a sword and a spear, but I come to you in the name of Allah, the Lord of all." He bent down and picked up 3 smooth stones from the earth. He placed one in his sling. The air stilled, soldiers held their breath. Even the wind seemed to pause. Dawood swung his sling. The stone flew with a sound like lightning. It struck Jalut square in the forehead. The giant staggered, his eyes wide in shock. His sword slipped from his hand, and then, with a crash that shook the ground, Jalut fell, dead. Silence. Then a roar erupted from the soldiers of Israel. The giant who had terrorized nations lay lifeless in the dust, slain not by a warrior king, not by a seasoned soldier, but by a shepherd boy with faith in Allah. The Quran records this moment. So they defeated them by the permission of Allah, and Dawood killed Jalut. And Allah gave him kingship and wisdom, and taught him what he willed. That day, the shepherd became a hero. The name of Dawood spread across the land. The people admired his courage, his wisdom, and even the beauty of his voice. Songs of victory carried his name. Mothers told their children of the boy who struck down the giant. King Dawood himself welcomed him, honored him, and promised him his daughter in marriage. But admiration soon turned to envy as the people sang, "Dawood killed thousands, but Dawood killed tens of thousands." Jealousy crept into Dawood's heart. He saw Dawood not as a blessing but a threat. Again and again he tried to harm him, yet Dawood never lifted his hand against the king. He trusted in Allah's plan and remained patient. And so Dawood's journey was only beginning. He had slain a giant, but now he would face tests far greater, tests of power, of envy, of kingship, and of his own heart. The shepherd who became a hero would soon be chosen as a prophet and a king. But that is the next part of his story.